This video will be on how to get extra credit, and it's also the alternative project for the online students. So all of us should have done watercolored backgrounds, and we should have edited a photo for this project of someone we admire. If you still need to edit a photo of someone that you admire, there are step-by-step instructions here. There's a video. If you need help picking a photo out, there's a video here explaining class on January 3rd that can help you pick out a photo. And there's a video down here of me editing the photo for this project. Then you can submit your edited photo here. What we are doing in class is also painting watercolor backgrounds. So online students, you also need to paint watercolor backgrounds. Just have fun with it, experiment. You can paint on several of those pieces of paper. Try painting on the paper dry, try painting on the paper wet. You can sprinkle salt on top of your watercolor when it's still wet, and it can get crystally effects. Just try different stuff. Experiment, make patterns, blah, blah, blah. This, I just want to show you, is where this can end up with this version of the project. To get started, you need to make sure you have your edited photo on the device that you're editing with, either the laptop or your phone. You're going to go up to File, Open. You're going to find your edited photo, open, and have your edited photo in Photopea. That's the start. If you want to take a picture of your watercolor background, which the online kids have to do, in-person kids, you don't have to do the watercolor again because you're doing it in person. But online kids, take a picture of your watercolor background, make sure it's not a really angled picture, make sure you're like straight above it and it's not dark, it's well lit, and take a picture of it, and also make sure it's on your device that you're editing with. You can email it to you if you need to get it on your laptop. Just find a way to get the photo on the device that you're editing with. You can edit with your phone or your laptop. Let's begin. Okay, how do we edit this photo? So basically, this is the end product. What we're doing is selecting all of the white in this image, deleting it out of the picture, and then we are sliding another image behind our black portrait. So that is what we'll be doing. It's actually very easy to do this because of how we've edited the photo. Your photo should only have black and white. Some of you might have gray in it and might complicate the image because maybe you missed a editing step, or we'll see. But everyone's image should be black and white. Up here on this main bar, click on Select, go down to Color Range, and this box should pop up when you click on Color Range. Right here is a box that says Select, and when you click on this box next to it, so there's a select, and when you click on this box next to it, it probably was already on sampled colors. What you need to click on is highlights. So in our photo, the highlights is all the white, and the shadows is all the black. If you have gray in your photo, even though you shouldn't, it's probably midtones. But for us, we're going to select the highlights. We're going to just click OK, and don't even click using your trackpad or anything. Because right now, if you didn't notice, in our image, all of the white has been selected. So there's a dotted line that showed up along the edge of the black and the white, and it selected all of the white. So if you click off it, you'll lose your selection. I've selected everything, and on your keyboard, you're going to look for the delete button. So the delete button is not in Photopea. You have to look at your keyboard to find the delete button and then click delete. Now, if you noticed, all of the white has turned into this checkerboard kind of grid paper pattern. That means the image is now transparent there. You can see through it, okay? To deselect, just because the dotted line, I see it and it bothers me, to deselect this, you need to make sure you're clicked onto the rectangle select over here. It's a dotted square. And then you can right click on your image. So some trackpads you might have to use 2 fingers to right click, or go to the right side of the trackpad. right-click the image, deselect, and now nothing is selected. You can see what I'm doing over in the history here. So your history should kind of match my history. Now what we're going to do is bring in the image to put in the background. So online students, that would be your watercolor. Students seeking extra credit, it can be any image that's relevant to the person that you admire. Okay, it might be something they love. In my case, I'm going to pull in an image of this artist's painting. So you're going to go up to File. Instead of doing Open, which would open a new project, you're going to do Open in Place. That tells Photopea that you want to put the photo in this same project. So Open in Place. I'm going to grab this one. I'm going to open it. And now we have this ugly painting. No, I'm not saying the painting's ugly, but like it's just pasted on top of his head. So this isn't what we want. We want it to look like this. First thing, I'm going to get off the dotted rectangle select tool. I'm going to go back up here to the move tool. It looks like your mouse cursor, whatever. I'm going to click on that so that I can move things around. So make sure you're off the select tool and go back up to the move tool. And now we have this image here. Some of you might already be able to resize this image, but let's say that doesn't pop up to make it smaller or bigger. You can go up to Edit and go down to Free Transform, and these squares will show up again. Sometimes it pops up for people, like it just popped up earlier for me, but then it disappeared on me just now. So if you want to be able to resize this picture, you gotta go up to Edit, go down to Free Transform, and then you can do that. So if your image is smaller than your portrait, you're going to drag this to be as big as your canvas. I'm dragging this photo to fit somewhere to cover the whole canvas. And see, like at the very bottom, there's a little bit peeking through. I can see some of that grid pattern. And we want to cover the whole thing. Okay, so now my whole portrait image is completely covered. And I can move this around since it's a little bit bigger and see where I like it, blah, blah, blah. Okay, let's try that. This is your layers panel. A lot of designers, they will get an insane amount of layers. We've been only working with like 1 or 2. In this case, we're working with 2. When we've edited our portrait, we worked with just 1. But most designers, their layers are insane, and you have to keep track of all the layers and layer them properly. So this image, my painting image, is currently the topmost layer. You can grab this top layer and literally decide that it's now the bottom layer. Because you deleted the white from the portrait image, you can put any image behind this portrait image as long as you make sure that the picture ends up below your portrait, okay? So I'm clicking on these eyeballs. This is a way that you can just decide to not see the layer, but then you can click the eyeball back and you'll bring the layer back. So this is good. This is good for the project. And let's say you want to go back and move this image around to see how it looks. You have to click on that layer again. So the painting, I'm going to click on the painting again, and then I'm going to go back up to Edit, Free Transform, so that I can move the image around and make sure I like where it's at, where it's placed. But yeah, you have to make sure that you're selecting that painting layer though. If you select this paint, like the portrait, and you try to move the painting, it will move only the portrait, okay? So I'm going to edit undo that because I like how everything's looking. And this is what you can do for extra credit or for the project if you're an online student. After you've done the watercolor, you can go back and totally try different images. Like if you're doing a friend or a family member, put in the background something they like or something that would make them laugh. Or if you're doing a celebrity, you can put in just like anything. Like think of just different images, Google, as long as it's school appropriate, we're good. And that is how you edit the photo for this project. Make sure though, before you go, you're gonna File, Export as, JPG, bring the quality to 100%, rename it at the top here, like edited Basquiat with painting, something that helps you know what the image is. Click save, and then make sure you send that file to me. I have the file saved on my laptop now. Make sure you either message it to me or you can submit it here in Mixed Media Portrait Project, okay? You can send that extra credit here. Online students, you can also send it here too. Or message it to me saying this is my extra credit or this is my project. That's it.